Hello once again, or welcome once again, or welcome for the first time to another wildly innovative and curious creation put together by a verifiable type A something, otherwise known as your host. And in this particular creation, I'd like to mention that it is my 52nd episode or attempt to redeem myself for past sins. It is also, 52nd episode. Well, it was February 22nd of 2019 that I decided to download this type of system and create something, put it together, and get it out there. And so there's a little bit of my history, and thank you for watching. And like, comment, and well, actually, I'm kidding. We have some content. Actually, I put together a little bit of content. Of course, I didn't have any ideas. That's why yesterday's was so overly exciting in dealing with some details that nobody really gives a rat's flying ass about. But I thought it would be fun to put it out. I thought it would be enjoyable to try to make something creative out of something so dull. And so I didn't go with pocket or naval lint, but I kept it to more of a, just a common factor. I didn't go with it cleaning the windows or doing the dishes either. And so you're welcome for that. But in this particular production, I've looked back. I've looked back on some of my past videos, and I think I'll be doing that in my upcoming future creations. And found some things that are curious details that you might find interesting as well. So thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing thus far, gang. I really appreciate it. And it does give me a reason and pause and cause to ponder. So stay tuned. I've got some curious details to enjoy and ponder about, of and with and for. And I would like to mention as well that part of the attraction that I find personally for my videos is to get into the comments of all of the subscribers at the spur of the moment, not go through them ahead of time, even though I have looked at now this is the Peter Lorre sweeping the floor video that I just released, starting out with one of my favorite people. And I would like to get more footage of different things. I am working on it. It takes time, and I have little of that. But this from Autumn Cordona says, go talk to the judge. He will answer all your questions about the cracks and the pocket holes. Dutch sense. I highly recommend his words. You are completely amazing with your sense of humor. And thank you, Autumn. That's awfully kind of you.
Oh, behave. Yeah. It is shit, Austin.
Oh, this coffee smells like shit.
I don't want to learn and need a carpenter too. I've done years of that too. I'm not up for it, but I do appreciate it when people...
Oh good, then it's not just me.
I have spent too much and too many, and I enjoy everything I do. As my aunt once told me, whatever you do, do as a professional.
Tank, load us up.
And Mountain Cat 1 needs a carpenter too. So you guys go ahead, and all you carpenters who want to be cleaning cabins and not telling them how to do it, give Mountain Cat 1 a jingle. I have cut hardwood delay, and I have hardwood delay too, but I'm pretty sure it's a different, seriously, sycamore. Can't make this up, and I couldn't make mine up either. Well, it does that by itself. I really do. Thanks, Mountain Cat 1. I gave you a like and a love not long ago. Tom Beasley, always great to hear from you. Thomas Beasley, great video. I need to brush up on my sweeping. Yeah, you know what? The only reason that video exists is because I wanted to put out something that was the most boring issue I could find, aside from... What do you get when you fall in love? Pocket lint and a belly button lint. So those are a couple of the details that I haven't covered in one of the most boring videos, probably the worst production in a long time. And there are the reasons that I put these out and put them out the way I put them out. And there are reasons for me and reasons for you, and I'm glad that you mostly like them. Thank you. So that covers some of the most recent comments. And let's just get spontaneous quickly and run into all of the comments, go into my beta area, and take a look at all of them. Because, I mean, I miss them. I know I miss them. I miss ya. Well, I miss the comments. And I don't miss them because you don't leave enough. I miss them because I'm not being observant enough. This one fell down into the toilet on my view count, but I don't mind that. This isn't a race for me. And let's see, Jane Doe put out an abandoned ghost town in the Arizona desert. Yeah. I want to run out there. Actually, I want to move in out there into the abandoned ghost town. Let's take a look at this. Let's have a quick look-see and give it the old thumbs up.
You haven't seen the sun in like forever.
I haven't
so
seen the
this is
sun
a
in
beach
like forever,
vacation.
and
Sunny
that's probably
beaches,
because I
sandy
just
beaches,
don't
bay
look
beaches,
up
well,
enough. But I do see the sun in videos, so that's always fun. Now, what is this? Info. We found an abandoned town in the Arizona mountains. Cool. Let's move there. Gang, what do you say? What do you say we all head out here and move in? Who's with me? I'm doing it. I'm tired of this. I'm sick of this crap. Doing nothing but helping people and reviving lives and bringing people back from the dead. It's boring, I tell you. It's annoying. Everyone's using me and I get nothing back but a tear. Oh, this is cool. I'm moving out there. Thanks, Jane, for the idea. I know that you knew I was going to put it there.
Scare me to death. It's not a shaft, obviously. It just goes right down here. I don't know what this was used for, but looks like it's kind of piping sticking up out of the ground there.
It's a seepage drain. That's what that is.
Old mining equipment here.
You put your wet stuff over and it drains out. Depends on the type of car that you've got, railroad car. And I probably could go into the types of railroad cars that drop out liquid from the base bottom, but that there were no tracks there, so that couldn't have been. Here's a jail. Let's lock each other up in little brick houses or cement houses.
Now this was the suicide house where the man committed suicide after murdering the other husband and wife.
He's probably watching one of my videos and see what else is going on here.
It still has a creepy, eerie feeling in here even during the day.
I get that a lot.
So strange.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thanks. And thank you for the video. It reminds me of where I grew up, actually. It kind of looks like my room. But I know it wasn't in that neck of the woods. And so I want to appreciate once again, as usual, Jane Doe is always popping out the great comments, the cool links. Check out the abandoned ghost town. I'll put that in my links or in my description. And here we have Ilka Freeman once again. Hi from Finland. Hi, Ilka. I found that you are interested in oriented formation. Here's an interesting video on the subject. Huh. Well, let's check that out. And the only places I'll cut these, again, from Conspiracy RS. Thanks, Ilka. What we got going on here?
Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about the mystery of the Carolina Bays and how this phenomena potentially ties in to a few other events of interest, which will be revealed later on in this video. So
cool.
First let's learn about the Carolina Bays. What are the Carolina Bays? It all starts in the 1930s. So during the 1930s, the first aerial photographs were being taken, and while they were photographing the East Coast, they noticed all of these elliptical depressions.
And as I was progressing through this video from Conspiracy R Us, he brings up Siberia. And he brings up the shallow
And
depressions, the star
second one.
forts.
This one's in northern Kazakhstan. But again, you have the fort, you have the remnants. Here you have a village, but to the Carolina Bays.
And so, at any rate, he brought up Siberia and the permafrost shallow, and also the star forts and redoubts, how they are attached. I wanted to mention that because I was thinking that would be a good place to move. I would like to go to Siberia.
Destruction of all these star forts, and there's a second one I want to show you.
Maybe go live at a star fort. And that is cool. The permafrost areas up in northern Siberia. And so taking some time to go through this video that Conspiracy R Us has put out about the new Madrid earthquakes information, I wanted to mention one detail. Let me just go ahead and play this video through for a minute or so here.
The new Madrid earthquakes of 1811 and 1812.
Now you notice the zone.
And this is the epicenter.
The epicenter.
So you've got right at this midpoint between all of this phenomenon.
And my point here is, if you look at this map right here, and you've just seen the epicenter already, everything is focused on from here to the east coast. You don't see any information going, to the west of that. And if you consider the amounts of vibrations that were carried through on the western side in relation to these vibratory details, you might say, how would we fill in the circles? That's something that I haven't seen yet. So I thought I'd just take a quick look at the Carolina Bays, and the map he had a star here, and the bays were, let's see, what did he say, in Georgia, Carolinas, and so just popping down into this area to look for some of the bays and finding the orientation of such. Now if you see these and you put the alignment to, it's a little bit off of north. It's northwest. Interesting. And I found that also to be the case up in the northern territories. The bays. That's curious. Curious information. Thank you for that, Ilka. But I think we're discussing and discovering on that what I just brought up, these pockmarks that were here that I brought up in my last video. Coming up here where the sand comes spewing out from beneath is a fountain, and that was what I was bringing up in yesterday's recording down in the Los Levitos area. And I will bring that up again here, but now this is where he actually talks about that specific
series of 3 major earthquakes in the Mississippi River Valley. Shockwaves recorded from Canada to the Gulf Coast, and there were accounts of chimneys that came crashing down in Maine. The quake caused huge cracks in the Earth's surface. Fissures large and small ejected coal and sand into the air. When you get liquefaction, sand tends to come bubbling up, or sometimes it even comes out as a fountain, depending on the force. In the known history of the world, no other earthquakes have lasted so long or...
Okay, so that was my point and issue, was the sand coming up as fountains and what is creating those pockmarks, and that is due to a liquefaction process detail that was just brought up here. I'd like to bring up... So now if these are caused through liquefaction and they were spewing up like steam spouts, and because of a settling from underneath and a pushing of liquefied material from below, that would give some plausible explanation for these structures and the way that they appear. And it would also indicate that the vibrations went all the way through. They went all the way through from up here in the New Madrid, central area, all the way. They lasted for months, and it's curious that the comet is also involved. The appearance of a comet, along with earthquakes. Curious indeed. And so I believe this is an electromagnetic detail that happens through vibrations as a comet traverses our place of existence. And around and around she goes. Now where she stops, nobody knows. So, I wanted to cover that also. Now I'm going to bring this up as something I noticed on a past video. I actually had glazed by it at the moment, but I just started looking back at the video, and it is the Earth was stripped long ago. I came to this spot at 3:08 roughly, and I noticed this huge, I did as an afterthought, see this circle that goes all the way around here, and it starts on the inner, it's not, now you can make it out a little bit better, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 concentric circles that are so specifically and precisely located in in relation to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and check the distance, and I did mention that I had noticed this before, but now I'm back to it to show you that the diameter of this is 20 miles on the outside, and on the inside, let's have a look at this inside diameter, approximately at 5.74. But with this type of terrain, as you can see that the terrain that it is, and the specificity of the circular form, notice as I zoom in on this, it appears to be, now this is the waviest area, and are those roads that are so specifically laid out in the diameters? Just going to zoom back once again, and you can see that the outer is way over here. And the curiosity for me, if it were a road, going over this type of terrain, it is so precisely, there are variances that I'm just noticing now, as in here. And if it were a road, or is a road, then it will have a bridge right here. And apparently it is a very large circular road. There we go. Well, that answers my question. I just think it's curious that that is so specifically and precisely laid out in a circle on a 20-mile diameter radius, and then you have concentric inner circles that are a precise distance from each other. Let's see what these distances are. And I, of course, can't give you precise measurements, but 2.48 from there, and 2.58 from here, 5048. It's pretty unbelievably close. And to take that and bring it in here again, it is curious. And these are all roads. That's the answer to that. These are each roads that were laid out in a perfectly radial distance from each other in a 2.5 mile. Why? All right, well, that's I guess a strange little road layout that I had never noticed before anywhere else in our place of existence, but that's what this is. Very curious. Thought I'd go ahead and reinvestigate that. So thanks for bearing with me on that minor detail. And I did not feel that it would be fair to end this recording without saying where this target, this bullseye is. And so just go ahead and put on the labels and borders and places. Throw caution to the wind once again. And we have Jenner. I'm going to back off on this diameter. Medicine Hat. Oh, we've heard of that area before. I've seen 5110 has haunted me since it was first put in as a coordinates, because there are so many fascinating things. In 5110, go ahead and put it in 50 north, 110 west into your Google Earth and hit, and have it search it out, and you will find some strange details in different areas. If I go 5110, and it is up in Canada, Calgary. Okay, I expected it to be further south, but this is in Calgary, near Brooks, not far from Brooks. Let's see here. We have Alberta, Canada, the province of Alberta. Now, just go in on that 5110 coordinate again. So this target zone is located in Canada, in the Alberta area, or province, I suppose. And then we have this huge target area. You see there are airports here, here, and here. And Canadian Forces Base Suffield. What's this? Oh, okay. So this is a 20-mile in diameter Air Force base in Canada with a circular target zone roads. Well, that's an interesting detail that I discovered here in the Medicine Hat area. I don't recall it ever being pointed out before. And there are a lot of other details that I'd like to go through in our comments and in the curious natures of the world that we live in. I like to investigate that. I like to bring up other curious, interesting details to assist the mind, the thought, the pleasure, and the day. So thank you for watching this short, detailed description of going through comments and some information in the Medicine Hat area. And don't forget to take your medicine. Like, comment, and or subscribe. And I will return soon. And as I mentioned, I will have more time to work with, which will allow me to create a more elaborate production with a lot of videos I have to search out. I am still new to this process, so thank you for bearing with me and my inabilities to produce and create. So come back again. Easy for me to say. Like, comment, and or subscribe. Check out some of the more curious details and send in your comments. And what is this? Look at this testing area right here. Wild. And there are 7 persons that live right there. So like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to ask the 7 persons why they've got all these circles around. I will be back to share and bring up some more curious and interesting content. So thanks again, gang. Talk to you soon.